Hello, darlings. How are you today? Okay, I want to talk about a modality of self forgiveness that will literally change your life. I have mentioned it before. I think I've done a couple of videos on it somewhere along the way, but I've been doing these for a while, so I thought this was a pretty good time to throw this out there. I use this pretty much on a regular basis. It's called Ho'oponopono. It is a Hawaiian practice of reconciliation and forgiveness. The Hawaiian word translates into English simply as correction, with the synonyms manage and supervise. So what Ho'oponopono is 4 sentences. It's I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, I thank you. Some people say I thank you and I love you. They will mix up those little transmute, trans. I can't think of the right word. They'll swap up those last 2 lines. This is something that you are literally forgiving yourself for your part in anything, any situation, any relationship, anything. Okay? So you're in a fight with somebody, they're being a douchebag. It's not your fault. However, Ho'oponopono can still help because what you're doing is forgiving yourself for allowing them to treat you like a douchebag. You're forgiving yourself for your part in whatever created this situation. And that self-forgiveness is so powerful. So fucking powerful. Like Ho'oponopono. I will, like, when this girl is ready for a cry fest, Ho'oponopono is how I do it. Sandra Rollis has a 35-minute version of, she's got a 10 minutes, quick, it's good, it's awesome. But if you really want to get in there and like really grab your heart and just rip it out and just like bring out the tears, the longer version of it is the way to do it, because Sandra walks you through all the different scenarios in your life where you allowed things to happen and you owe yourself forgiveness for rolling over and being a doormat and doing that kind of thing. Ho'oponopono is so fucking powerful. I can't tell you how many times I've sat out on my patio just with tears streaming down my face, forgiving myself for whatever the fuck. It is so powerful. It is amazing. My first summer of this awakening journey, summer of 2020. Of course, you know, summer of 2020, we're in the middle of the pandemic. The fucking world's shut down, right? I found myself drawn to the Ho'oponopono concept, and I made myself a vow that I was going to do it for 21 days. That's kind of, everybody's like, 21 days makes a new habit. 21 days is what really makes a change in your life. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do this for 21 days. Well, after the first couple of times, I figured out that I was just fucking bawling my eyes through it, right? Well, I was freshly divorced and I had my kids every other weekend, half the time. So we all lived on top of each other in this little townhouse. I call it little. It's not little. It's a great size space. But when you're trying to cry it out, it's a very small house because the walls are thin. So I'd find myself at the pool every evening, and I would turn on my Ho'oponopono, and I would just sit there and cry. It's over 21 days. I cried every night at the pool with my little savage cat with his little paws on my back, giving me energy. I highly recommend this. And like I said, when I have moments now where I'm like, okay, I just feel like I need a good cry, this without a doubt does the trick every fucking time. Because there's always something that you can be forgiving yourself for.
Y'all, Ho'oponopono is not just for yourself. By saying this, you are helping others as well. A Hawaiian therapist cured an entire ward of criminally insane patients without ever meeting a single one of them or spending a single moment in the same room with them. He arrived at the residential treatment center. The cure rates were abysmal. Morale was very low. Employee turnover was very high. Dr. Lin locked himself in his office day after day, much to the consternation of the staff. But after some weeks, things began to change. Patients were getting better. Morale was improving. How had he done this? He had reviewed each of the patient's files and then healed them by healing himself with this mantra. So this guy, just using those words, and I've read something somewhere else that this guy literally just sat there and went through their files and just kept saying Ho'oponopono, just kept saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, I thank you. And he just sat there and flipped through the patient's files. And these were all like criminally insane. He put himself out of a job. He was able to cure all of the patients, and the entire place shut down because they had no need to be open because everyone was cured. It's fucking amazing.
Check it out. Ho'oponopono. It's a great practice to add to your repertoire. Go fucking meditate. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. I thank you.